Welcome to the To The Point Show, a fast-paced program that focuses on hot-button national issues of the day and a whole lot more. And now it's time to get to the point.
Good morning, Nashville. I'm Larry.
I'm Ron.
And we're getting to the point of your hot-button issues here locally and nationally. Ron, how was your weekend?
It was great. It went so fast, I don't really know what happened.
Blink your eye. It was over.
Yes, it was.
Hey, Ron, we're blessed today. We're lucky to have our next mayor in studio with us today, okay. Carol M. Swain, a highly accomplished lady, and we're going to get her on air in just a second. But first and foremost, we're going to touch on a few issues that are affected our community, especially the capture of Mr. Travis Reinking, captured.
Yes, he was. So great that happened. He was 24 hours, 28 hours.
That's right. Fantastic work from our local police force. Give those guys a pat on the back and a shake a hand, a thank you. They got it done, got the job done quickly and effectively.
Dramatic win for the Preds in Smashville, Tennessee last night.
Double overtime. Let's go Preds. Let's go Preds. Let's bring the cup home.
But speaking of that, they honored James Shaw Jr. at the game. He's the hero of the Waffle House shooting.
Local hero James Shaw Jr. We need to get him. If we can get him in studio, let's put out an email out to Mr. James Shaw and thank him for his.
He's so busy. He's been on CNN, NBC, ZSNBC, all of them.
How do you describe a real life hero? How do you describe him?
And he's so humble.
Yes,
it's a humility about Mr. Shaw. He said, I wasn't trying to save anybody. I was just trying to save myself. He saw the opportunity. The guy flinched with the gun, and he rushed him.
Hey, also, he is a man of faith. We don't want to discount that. We don't want to discount that. That's hey, I'm not beating the drum, but he's a man of faith. The first picture I saw him, he was in church house with his daughter. But moving on, Ron. LeBron James fights through cramps and carries the Cleveland Cavaliers to an incredible Game 7 win. If any of you guys are fans out there, I'm not. Anyway, moving on.
Okay, Mike Pompeo. Okay,
Mike Pompeo, Trump's next Secretary of State, went through a gut-wrenching. How you say when they qualify you in the word I'm looking for? Ron, come on. I'm sorry. The Democrats did not want to. I'm sorry. They did have one. Did they have one Democrat?
Yes, it was. Well, it was one Republican that said, "Don't carry on."
Okay. Anyway, Mike Pompeo is the new Secretary of State. We don't want to drag it out. And I'm sorry. And let me just sum this up if we could, because this was the most highly qualified Secretary of State I believe that we've had.
That seems to be the sentiment that I'm hearing.
This guy was a real life Boy Scout. I mean, as clean cut, did everything, has done it all, and they still didn't want to just slide him on through. So we got a really issue with the Democrats because they don't want to do it, even if it's the perfect person, and Trump nominates him, they don't want to get it done. Moving on, Ron. What else we got, Ron? We got Bill Cosby, Cliff Huxtable, found guilty. America's Dad found guilty of sexual assault in a retrial. Cosby, 80 years old, faces sentence up to 10 years, and a fine of $25,000 for each 3 counts. I mean, what are you going to say, Ron? Where do you go with that? I mean,
I don't know, but we don't want to prolong this.
Absolutely.
Long.
Absolutely. Okay, let's see, Ron. I guess the most important topic of the day, we need to get the next mayor on air. Miss Carol Swain. If I could just say a few things about Carol. Carol is from. Where's Carol? Where are you from, Carol? Where are you from?
I was born and raised in Bedford, Virginia, in a rural area. The country, folks.
Hey, my kind of people. They said if you want to meet some good people, go to the country. Go to the country. Anyway, Carol Swain. She's in her bio, and she's proud of it, and she should be because she's a woman. She's a woman of faith and has overcame, and she's standing in front of us, giving us the opportunity to have a great mayor. Instead of taking the status quo, we're getting a real woman of faith that's giving us the opportunity to win our vote. And she's a woman, a teenage mother, to a highly, she come from being a teenage mom to being a high school dropout to becoming a highly accomplished university professor and a public intellectual. Dr. Carol Swain. Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, Dr. Carol Swain. And empowering others. She's all about empowering others to confidently raise their voices in the public square. Don't just settle for the status quo. Carol says go for it, and do not just say, if this is what's going on, let's stick with it. She said, let's fix it. If something's broke, let's fix it. Don't just keep on running through an old broken system. And I'm not going to say, I don't want to say corrupt. I didn't say corrupt. I didn't mean to say that. Not corrupt. But the politicians in some big cities kind of are so comfortable with the status quo and just doing the way things have been done, and we need some new blood. When I heard David Briley, vice mayor, was going to kind of just walk on in, man, I was disappointed. Were you? Were you excited? I'm sorry. I don't, and I'm not to drag David Briley through the. I'm not trying to do that, but he's been around. We need something new. We've got the same problem we've been having in the city, so we want to know right now. We want to know if we can get it from Carol. I don't want to say what I was about to say. Okay. We'll get it straight from Carol's mouth. Carol, why are you running?
Well, I'm running because I care about good government, and I never envisioned myself as being someone that would be a candidate for office. I have felt that the call on my life was to hold politicians accountable,
yes, ma'am,
and not to become one. And I never want to become a politician. Even after I'm elected mayor, I want to be a stateswoman, an effective leader. There's something about being a politician that's sleazy.
Yes.
And when it comes to Nashville, you might not want to say it, but I can say it. We have corruption. It's very deep. We have a swamp. And there is a need for someone strong to go in there with a broom and sweep out some of that corruption and figure out where some of those millions of dollars have gone. They can't find money to fix the things we need, yet they can find money, for soccer stadiums and for things that they want to do.
Right. I'm in total agreement with you. Carol, I'm totally in total agreement on everything you said. She said stateswoman, and people don't carry that flag or banner. Our politicians don't carry that flag around. You follow me? They want to get in and get comfortable in their career as politicians. And most people don't know that when people first started running for office, they didn't really that wasn't a career job. You went to do a job for your community and come back home and go back to work. Yes, now we got people so comfortable and entrenched in the system to where we don't get anything done. They just keep on going along.
Well, what's really funny is that some of the people that are running now are saying, I have experience. They have experience doing nothing and sitting in government holding positions.
Rubber stamping.
Right, and it's time to clean house, and I think it's very important for the voters to hold their elected officials accountable.
Yes.
They come around from both political parties around election time, make tons of promises, and they actually do nothing. And one of the things that I want voters to do is to know that you can have good government.
That was my next question. Why should we vote for you? And I'm sorry, when I met you, you had my vote. You had my vote when I heard, by the first 5 words you said to me, you had my vote. But some of the citizens and some of the people voting, they may be so comfortable with what they've been doing, and so I wish you could briefly just tell them why they should vote for you.
Well, first of all, I've been traveling around, many different neighborhoods, talking with people, and there's a lot of anger because the voters have been lied to and disappointed so many times, and so one of the questions that I received, from an older man is, how do we know that you're not going to be like everyone else? And anyone that has followed my career will know that there's nothing about me that's like anyone else. And part of my story was I was a high school dropout, one of 12, born and raised in rural poverty, no indoor plumbing. We all dropped out of school after the 8th grade. I married at 16, had my first child at 17. I got a high school equivalency, went to a community college and got the first of 5 degrees.
Yes, ma'am.
And I was an honest student. And
My hat's off.
But I can tell you that I have won, not only have I won national prizes for being the best in my field, but my work has influenced Supreme Court decisions. And I'm a person that is very transparent.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, what you see is what you get.
Yes, ma'am.
And when it comes to governing Nashville, I have looked at the issues, and I have identified, and I'm already working on a blueprint for change. And so the day after the election, I get to work.
Okay. But see, a lot of us locally, see, we hear the national term. Donald Trump, you say, and I'm not trying to bring our fine president in this. They say. They said we're going to drain the swamp. See, we think here locally we don't really have a swamp.
I'm told it's worse than Washington D.C. That their level of corruption and some of the things that they do is that they take public land, public property that belong to us, and give it to their friends.
Yes.
They have contracts that they give out millions of dollars, no bid, give it to your friend.
Yes.
And so, that's not good government.
Right.
That contracts.
Corruption. It's corruption.
Yeah, when there are jobs to be done by the city, bids should come in, and the decision makers should choose the best bid for the city.
Absolutely.
Not pick the winners and losers.
Absolutely.
And when it comes to the infrastructure, I know that when you go to Bordeaux and North Nashville and Nolensville Road, that the quality of services are not the same, and they are the last places to get the potholes fixed. One of the things that I promised, and I say the same thing in every neighborhood, is that there are some neglected areas of the city that will be a priority when it comes to taking care of the infrastructure. I say the last will be first and the first will be last, because it's time to have equitable distribution of services. The violent crime rate, I want to work with Metro Police. I believe that they are men and women of goodwill. I want to work with them, the community leaders, the schools, and do something about the violent crime rate. That affects all of us. That should not be a part of Nashville. And there are just so many things that are broken.
Yes, ma'am.
And the mayor of Nashville has a lot of power. There are things that I can do, and they're saying, the city is saying, there's no money to give any raises to retirees. There's no money, for anything. I don't believe that, because if there were no money, they wouldn't be doing all the construction that the city is doing.
Everywhere.
And giving it corporate welfare.
Right.
Welfare in Nashville goes to the corporations.
Oh, see, now, most of us don't know that. I'm sorry. Listening on, you listen to Dr. Carol Swain, who's running for mayor of Nashville. She is our next mayor, and we are fully endorsing Dr. Swain. Dr. Swain, I'm so impressed by you, and I'm so impressed by your resume, your knowledge of the issues. And we would be blessed. The city, the citizens would be blessed to have you as a mayor. And I guess a lot of times we don't really see the big picture, because we're kind of closed off in our communities and in our neighborhoods. Sometimes in our homes, a lot of our older citizens, a lot of them probably didn't come outside anymore. You follow me? They just stay closed in, and so they're kind of comfortable. They don't really know what's going on or know what's being distributed where, with. And if I drive through the city, I've almost tore up my car driving through the city,
hitting those potholes.
Oh God! I mean, it's unbelievable. So a lot of things that we take for granted. We say, well, I mean, how's it affecting? How can the mayor make it better? And I'm sure
the mayor has a lot of power to make it better. And one of the promises that I can make to citizens, like I'm visiting just tons of places, I intend to be very much involved as mayor. You don't vote for me and I suddenly disappear.
Okay.
And I'm working with community leaders. And government is going to be different. It's going to be fairer. It's going to have integrity. It's going to be transparent.
Integrity. Hey, that's something that's sorely lacking around here. I mean, with our last outgoing mayor, Miss Megan Berry, and not to open old wounds.
Well, I understand she was a great person. She hugged everyone. I hug people too.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, when I say I'm going to do something,
yes,
I'm not going to be misleading people, telling them that I can do something that I can't. And but I'm going to promise the people that I'm going to do everything in my power to show them immediate change. And when it comes to transit, it's very important for the people that if you have not voted, vote against this transit boondoggle.
That's what I wanted to ask you. That was one of our top issues. Transit. what is transit? Well, I mean, okay. Now I was listening to a fantastic show. Hey, but before we get into the transit, we want to take a quick break and give a shout out to a couple of our sponsors real quick.
Nashville Motors, 4023 Dickerson Pike, Nashville, Tennessee, 37207, the home of the $500 down payment. Give them a call, 615-262-9367. Nashville Motors, 4023 Dickerson Pike. Also, our other sponsor, Nashville Auto Repairs, right there on Murfreesboro Road, 633 Murfreesboro Pike, Nashville, Tennessee, home of the reliable auto repair. They
Ask
can
for
fix
MJ.
any type of car, but ask for MJ when you call. 615-839-4283. 615-839-4283. Ask for MJ, and he'll make your vehicle problems go away. And of course, we wouldn't be doing this show if it had not been for cash for junk cars. If you got a junk car, an old car, some car you don't want, give cash for junk cars a call today and get that vehicle hauled away. 615-480-6473. 615-480-6473.
Thank you, Ron. Hey, okay, we've got Dr. Carol Swain running for mayor with you today. Dr. Carol Swain, our next mayor. Dr. Swain, help the people who don't know and who are not informed. I like to say, as a strong contingent of the public that sometimes is uninformed and not informed enough. We need to know: is the transit plan just a big money grab? What is this? What's all the hype around the transit plan?
Well, first of all, it's a $9 billion investment that's a tax. And if it passes tomorrow, it will raise 4 city taxes: the business tax, the hotel tax, the
sales
tax, and also the car rental fees.
Okay.
And a lot of the conventions that have been coming to Nashville, few of them are coming already because it's so expensive.
Yes.
To get a room downtown.
Oh, wow.
$300 and some dollars or more.
It's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable, but the thing is, if you're someone that is on a fixed income, and even if you're not on a fixed income, it's going to affect everyone. We will have a higher sales tax than New York City.
You can get a cheaper. You can get a cheaper 5-star room in New York City or Miami actually than you can in Nashville, Tennessee. But go ahead.
But here's the other thing: is that it's not going to solve. They're selling it to people, saying that it will end the traffic congestion. It will make more traffic congestion, and it doesn't even cover enough area to affect the problem.
Right.
And so for people that are coming in, from Rivergate or Smyrna or Antioch, Franklin, Bellevue, it's not going to
affect them at all.
It's not going to make it better for them. It's going to make it worse for them.
Right.
And we will be saddled with debt for the foreseeable future and not even see benefits for maybe 15 or 20 years.
Wow. And
can you imagine the streets being torn up? I am for transit. We do need to do some things, but there's some things that we can do immediately. They're telling, the minority community that they'll give them better bus service. We can have better bus service without passing that $9 billion boondoggle. Right. We can also do some other things along with the buses.
I've traveled quite a bit the last 4 or 5 years, and I was in beautiful city, Austin, Texas. This has come to my mind, and in Austin, Texas, they have the interstate, double levels of the interstate.
Right,
And actually, there was a gentleman on another talk show. I was listening in on something else, and they said that's what should happen. All through around the surrounding part of the city should be double layers,
right,
to where interstate traffic doesn't have to get on the lower level to get going and out. And I'm just... You're the candidate.
I can tell you that there are many alternative plans that we have not talked about because the wealthy business people and the people that are benefiting from the studies, and millions of dollars have already gone into the studies before the voters have voted on it.
Right.
And the people that are supporting David Briley are people that have a direct interest, businesses that are going to benefit, the consultants, some of the black leaders that are saying vote for this transit plan, they're on the payroll.
Okay, there it is. Now you know. Now if anybody had their pom-poms out on the street or with their signs out for transit, it's a strong possibility that they're getting they're taking a check right off the top.
They are, because the business journal Journal talked about one person in particular that's being paid to be a consultant.
Okay.
One of the people that hosted the fish fry. Are you really going to give your vote away for a piece of fish?
Hey, Nashville, will you give your vote away for a piece of fish? Will you let your taxes be raised? Will you have the streets tore up? Will you have traffic bagged up? And you think it's bagged up now? When they start on some stuff like this right here, it's really going to be bagged up. I'm sorry. First and foremost, do not want to see any taxes raised. I mean, we're taxed enough already. If they tax you anymore, I'm sorry, you might just send your check straight to them, right?
Well, let me tell you this, that there's so much corruption and so much money, that disappears, that I think that a strong mayor, and I will be that strong mayor, is that you can find some of that money, and I think that there's money there to do what they want.
Yes.
There's money there to do what the next mayor wants too.
Absolutely, we got new soccer stadium. We just built the Sound Stadium, and Mayor, and bear with me, and I'm gonna say this one thing. And this is a sticker for me. When I look in the black communities, we don't have any warehouses. We don't have any warehouse decent. We don't make a rubber band.
Let me tell you this.
Go ahead.
There's a big concern about affordable housing.
Yes.
And I was told, I didn't hear this interview, that Mayor Browley said that developers don't want to build affordable housing. I was speaking at a community meeting, and several developers came up to me and they said they want to build it, but they can't get the contracts. I mean, there are some developers that would build in Bordeaux and North Nashville houses that cost between $150,000 to $200,000, affordable for working people.
Yes. And
they're not. The city picks the winners and losers, so those people are not getting what they need to be.
They're not getting opportunity.
And then with HUD, I know that Secretary Carson has some programs that are available for cities, and so that needs to be explored and followed up on to see what Nashville can get.
Right. These are things that nobody talks about. Dr. Carol Swain is bringing it straight to you. I haven't heard not one word of anything like that. I didn't hear it from the previous mayor, and we're not hearing it from our acting mayor. We're hearing it from our future mayor, Dr. Carol Swain, in studio with us today, which is an honor for us to have her here with us, and I'm hoping she can get your vote. So vote against transit. Vote for Dr. Carol Swain as your next mayor. Ron, what else you got? What else can we say about the good doctor? Go ahead,
Can
doctor.
I say one thing?
Absolutely.
If you want to learn more about me and my blueprint for Nashville, go to swainformayor.com. swainformayor.com. We need volunteers, and we're asking for people to donate the price of a cup of coffee. If you have $5 for Starbucks, then you can donate $5 to my campaign and be a part of a grassroots movement that's going to change Nashville and ultimately the state and the nation.
The lives. That's right. You're changing lives. When you get a vote for Dr. Swain, you're changing the city. You're going to change lives. She's her own story, just by itself. But she's a phenomenal leader, a phenomenal intellect, and she has got integrity. And that's the most important thing we need in this city: integrity, knowledge, strength. And these are things that we're sorely lacking. So, Dr. Swain, it's been an honor for us to have you here. I'm sorry, and let me be the first. Let To The Point Show be the first one to donate today. If we're gonna donate $250 to your campaign today, and we ask for any of our listeners, if you can, Dr. Swain is the real deal. She is the real deal, 100%. And we're hoping that you'll get behind her, because we're certainly behind her here. Ron, what you got, Ron?
It's so great to have Dr. Swain on the show today, and I really got to hear from the heart of you today. Tell us some more.
Well, I mean, it's an honor to be on the show and to be appreciated, and I am, it really is like a movement, and it's a new day because people are receptive and they're tired of being lied to. And we won't fix all the problems overnight, but I guarantee you we're going to hit the ground running, and I already know what I'm going to do. And I will always be accessible to people. I love people, and my motto is Micah 6:8. What does the Lord require? To do justice, to love mercy, and walk humbly before the Lord your God.
Amen. Well spoken, well put. Dr. Swain, I'm understanding you've wrote a few books?
Yes.
Tell me, if you could, A great. Okay, because it was a book that I was sharing with the audience and we were supposed to give out a couple of copies, and I'm hoping that people will call in. But this is a book that was called False Black Prosperity. Have you heard of this book? It's called False Black Prosperity. When it speaks on when we elect black politicians in our communities, we get very little benefit.
Yes.
From our black politicians, and it's a phenomenal book. Go ahead.
Well, some years ago, my first book was called Black Faces, Black Interests, The Representation of African Americans in Congress, published in 1993, and it forecasts what happened the next year with the Republicans.
Yeah.
But it was called Black Faces and Black Interests because there's a trade-off sometimes between descriptive representation and where you have people that look like you and what you actually get.
Right.
And a lot of times the people, because they look like you, they feel like all they had to do is show up. And sometimes the representation from people that don't look like you is even greater because they have to work harder.
Right.
And so it's important to hold black elected officials accountable, but also there are white people and there are Hispanics and Asians, other people that you hold them accountable, and in some cases they're doing a much better job for you. Don't always think that people look like you have your interests.
That is what I tell people. Say, Larry, you're a black guy. I'm going to do business. I said, no, don't do business because I'm black. I don't want you to suffer or sacrifice service or quality because I'm black. I want to give you the same amount of quality and service, and I got to apologize to one of my close friends because I've let one of my people down, and so I got to throw a big shout out apology. I'm not going to say their names, but don't sacrifice the quality of your service or your goods or services.
True.
Because someone is the same race. I wouldn't ask that. I mean, I want you to give me an opportunity. Just give me an opportunity. If I can win your vote, I'm sorry. If you can win, you won my vote already.
I want to say something else too.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
You know, I'm a Christian. I'm reluctant to say that because so many people say, I'm a Christian, vote for me. You have to hold them accountable too.
Yes, ma'am.
It's in Nashville, it's too easy to say, I'm a Christian business person, I'm a Christian this. You look at what they do and how they live their lives.
Amen.
Are you walking the walk? Are you just, or are you just talking the talk? I believe that Dr. Swain, our future mayor, Dr. Carol Swain, is going to talk the talk and going to walk the walk. And if she says she'll do it, let's give her an opportunity. Nashville, let's get out and vote for Dr. Carol Swain for your next mayor, and let's vote against this transit. Go ahead, Dr. Swain.
And early voting for mayor starts on May 4th. And so there's 2 elections. On May 1st, tomorrow you're going to be voting about transit. On May 4th, I need you all to vote early for me for mayor, and also to encourage your friends and neighbors. The election is May 24th, so you have to go to 2 elections this year.
Okay.
Really,
okay.
3. There's one in August too.
Okay. Well, hey, we got a lot of voting. If you like voting, this is the year for it. I'm assuming.
But the most important vote is that transit vote and the vote for mayor, because the vote for mayor is going to change Nashville, it's going to change Tennessee, it's going to change our nation, and you can be a part of that.
And every vote counts, Nashville. Every vote counts. This is not isolated. This is not a demographic race. We want everybody involved. We want the all communities, Hispanic, the white community, the Asian community, the black community. Let's all come together. This is a real movement. The real movement that we really can get something done here.
And the immigrant community. We're building a coalition that's going to change this nation.
Absolutely. Ron, lastly, hey, if we could, before we get out of here, I wanted to touch on one other thing. If Ron, did we mention if anybody had any Predators Game 5 tickets? then please send them into the radio station. We need to get to the point show. We want to get out and raise and have our pom-poms out and root on the Predators. Let's root on our next mayor, Dr. Carol Swain. Dr. Swain, it's been phenomenal having you. I'm so impressed. I think you are by far the best candidate in the race. It's hands down not even a contest. You're qualified, sharp lady, engaging, strong, intelligent. We want you to be our next mayor. Dr. Carol Swain's been with us. Thank you, Dr. Swain, for being here with us today.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for tuning in to the To The Point Show. Like us on Facebook or visit our website, tothepointshow.com. Join us every Monday at 11 a.m. on 760 a.m. The Gospel.